Hey there, welcome to Hiker Homily number 48. And this time I'm going to talk to you. It should be a brief one. I know I always say that, right? What can I say? Um, but it really should be a brief one. I'm going to talk to you about a little subject that I kind of broached like one or two Hiker Homilies ago, real briefly. And I might have given the impression that I am anti this, and I'm talking about bicycles on the trail. I am not anti-bicycle on the trail. Um, it shouldn't really be a surprise. My stance on bicycles on the trail is exactly the same as my stance on guns on the trail, my stance on dogs on the trail, and just all that kind of basic stuff. And that stance is where the trail rules or ordinances or laws say they're okay, awesome, then do it. Where the ordinances, laws, rules say no, then don't. And that should just be like with all the other things, guns on the trail, dogs on the trail, etc., etc. I know that should just be common sense, but unfortunately, we humans tend to bump our heads when it comes to simple stuff like that, because you always have that that minority crowd that gets all rankled. They're they just get all worked up that how dare somebody tell them no, they can't do something in a certain place, and blah 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 blah. But that's just how it is. That is my stance on things. If the rules say no bikes, then no bikes on the trail. Just like if it would say no guns allowed here, no dogs allowed here, whatever. Um, it just again, common sense. It's when we run into trouble when people decide the rules don't apply to them, or the rules are just picking on me. It's just totally unfair. How dare they tell me I can't do blah blah blah. It's the government being mean to specifically me. Just that kind of ridiculous childish attitude is where we have issues. Because like I've said before, I'm not an enforcer on the trail. I don't go around, hey it's against the rules for that. Unless someone is endangering me, I don't really worry too much about it. I got to be honest. But I have had some encounters with mountain bikers up there in the trails, and they've gone both directions. There have been some where I've been on a trail where bikes are allowed, and the bicyclist is great, yields when they were supposed to yield, really friendly, gives you a hello, or lets you know when they're coming up behind them, so you can let them pass through if they've got good momentum. It doesn't matter to me who has the right of way. If he's got a good momentum and I'm just kind of cruising, I'll step aside for him and let him go. Um, real simple stuff like that. And then I've also had encounters with bicyclists, including on trails where they are allowed, where they just have this attitude that they're supposed to be the king of the trail, and everyone is supposed to just bow down to them, kiss their ass, and all kinds of stuff like that, and everyone needs to get out of their way no matter what, and things like that. And it's just ridiculous. Those are the types of people. That's when you get the bad name for the bicyclists and stuff like that. And then it's doubly worse when you get that kind of a attitude from a bicyclist when he's on a trail that he's not even supposed to be on. The rules say no bikes on this trail, and he's got his bike on the trail, and on top of that he's acting like an a-hole who everyone is supposed to just kiss his ass and stuff like that. That's where the trouble starts coming in with these things. And I really wish it could just people could work things out and stuff like that. But unfortunately, humans just don't work that way. We are interesting individuals, and that's part of the thing, is we are individuals. And so some of the other hikers will have an attitude like mine, and it's just like, it's no big deal. He's being really polite and stuff like that, or this guy's not really being polite, but he's moving on. So F him, I'm gonna continue on with my day. Other people will have the attitude of, nope, he doesn't belong here. So if I have to, I'm going to physically drag his ass off a bike and teach him a lesson. Or I know I don't belong here, I'm on my bicycle, but F these guys, I'll do what I want. That's when we start having issues. And so it just kind of sucks that way. But again, like I said, I am not anti-bicycle. Where the rules say, yeah, bikes are allowed on this trail, then cool. I am happy to share the trail with them. It doesn't bug me at all. Am I the type of person that thinks bicycles should be allowed just on every trail? No, sorry, you bike fans. I just don't. There are trails out there where I just don't think they would be helped by having bicycles allowed on the trail. I just don't. I truly believe. I know hikers can do some damage to a trail, especially if they're in numbers and things like that. I get that, but just the motivation for most bicyclists is kind of an adrenaline rush. I mean, these guys are not walking their bikes along the trail or slowly cruising, except for certain uphills where they kind of have to. When they're doing downhills and stuff like that, they're just flying down these trails and doing little jumps and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, that does produce more damage than some person, whether they're going up or downhill, just simply walking along the path. It just does. And so there are certain trails where, yeah, I could see if this were opened up to bicycles, it would just be trashed. And I don't mean trashed like on purpose. The bicycles would maliciously just be bad to the trail. It's just the mechanic of the bicycle taking this turn is going to do damage on this turn where a hiker is not going to, and things like that. There are just trails out there that are like that, and most of them no bikes, and I'm good with that rule. Sorry. But like I say, other trails where bikes are allowed, totally cool with it. So not anti-bike. But that's really my take on it. Again, it should just be really simple, and I'm going to do yet another one that's going to be short at some point, of just talking about just trail rules in general and my feelings about that. Because again, there's a minority of hikers out there in the hiker community that just have this. It's just ridiculous how they are anti any kind of thing. They'll flat out tell you, "Oh yes, I absolutely want this trail preserved and stuff like that. But having this rule that is actually there to help preserve the trail is against me, and how dare the government tell me what not to do." It's illogical and it's childish. And it's the same way for some of the bike people who decide, F the rules, I'm going to take my bike wherever the hell I want. And then while I'm out there, I'm going to be a total jerk to everybody I meet, and tell them to get the hell out of my way because this is my world type of attitude. It's ridiculous, childish, and there it is. But yeah, so bikes on the trail, just like some of the other topics I've talked about, absolutely fine where the rules or ordinances or laws allow them. If the rules, ordinance, allows don't allow them, then no, don't have them out there on the trail. And if you do, whether they're allowed on the trail or not, there's no reason to have a crappy attitude and act like king of the road, because you're not. Technically, as far as I remember, the etiquette is bikes yield to everyone. Hikers yield to horses. Bikes yield to everyone. Horses, I don't think, yield to anybody. They have the right of way. It's just how it is. So anyway, that's Hiker Homily for this week. Very simple. Agree, disagree, had any experiences. As usual, I'll put it out there if you want to share it. You can comment below. You can get a hold of me on Instagram or on Facebook at Hiking for Health CA, or you can email me at hikingforhealthca@gmail.com. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.